All right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions, and right now we finna see what happens when a killer realizes the cops discovered his secret. Let's go.
Does he have any reason to
just disappear?
2 days ago, Michael LaFlex murdered his daughter's boyfriend, 23-year-old Bryce Brogle, and buried his body in a nearby forest.
Shit.
Certain he has gotten away with the crime, Michael hides behind the devotion of his grieving daughter, who, having just lost the love of her life, defends her father when detectives begin asking questions.
Do you believe your dad that some people kidnapped him?
Yes.
Investigators are convinced that Michael is connected to Bryce's disappearance. But without solid evidence, their suspicions remain nothing more than speculation. What they don't realize is that the truth of what really happened that day is far closer than they could have ever imagined.
We got the old school flip phone.
October 26th, 2022, Brainerd, Minnesota. Bryce Brogle and his girlfriend, Cordelia LaFlex, have returned to their home in Minnesota after spending 4 months on a cross-country road trip.
Damn.
The young couple arrived home that afternoon with their belongings packed in boxes and bags. Bryce needed somewhere to store some of the items, so Cordelia's father, Michael, offered to drive him to a storage facility just a 10-minute walk away. Both men left the house at 5 a.m. However, only one of them returned.
Wow.
When Cordelia asked her father where Bryce was, Michael told her that 2 unmarked vehicles had showed up while they were about to leave the storage facility and arrested Bryce. He claimed that he didn't know what agency they were with, what the charges were, or where they'd taken him.
What?
It was a very unusual story, but Cordelia believed him. This was her father. Why would he lie?
What?
So she tried texting Bryce to see if he would respond. After 2 days of no contact, Cordelia drove to the Mesa County Sheriff's Office and reported him missing.
2 days? All right, hold on. Wait, what? 2 days? Wait, your husband gets allegedly kidnapped by a department, he don't know which one, at 5 in the morning after y'all been on the road for 4 months, and you can't find him, he's not answering his phone. You wait 2 days to go see about him? 2 days? That sounds kind of iffy, I ain't gonna lie.
But as detectives began looking into the case, they quickly realized that this wasn't a simple story of someone getting lost or forgetting to call home. What they were about to uncover would reveal something far darker than anyone could have imagined. Now, since Michael was the last known person to have seen Bryce, the detectives reached out to him for questioning, and he invited them to the same storage unit.
Checking to see, what these guys, if they left anything.
Yeah, it didn't happen here. We pulled out and it happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, and it's just basic missing person 101.
I get that. I figured when she had said, she goes, Dad, I'm going to go file a missing person report. And I was the last one seen with him.
Yep.
And I said, okay. And so I figured sometime, if not today, tomorrow, you guys will be talking with me. So.
After reading Michael his rights, the officers got straight to the questions.
If we could just start again with what happened.
So we came here, we unloaded, we pulled out.
And you're driving this
the white Escape with a U-Haul trailer. Yeah, they went to Arizona first. Somewhere, he wouldn't let us know where they were at. Somewhere in southern Arizona. Yeah. And then from there, they were there.
What do you mean he wouldn't let you know where they were at? Somebody put a pin in what he just said right there. He wouldn't let us know where they were at. Interesting.
Beginning of August, I think. And then they headed up to Washington, somewhere in Washington. Okay. Again, he wouldn't let us know. Cordelia said to me it was somewhere in a small town near Spokane. That's all I ever got of it. Okay. And they just came back.
They got back on Wednesday?
Yes. We got back Wednesday. And
do you know about what time they showed up?
5:15ish.
Okay.
At 5, I was putting laundry in. I was washing my sheets, so Cordelia got up like that. She asked if she could stay with me while Bryce stayed somewhere else. And so I said, why don't you
not get along?
No.
This is interesting. What do you mean? So now he wouldn't tell you where they was when they was on the road gone. Now your daughter called you, say, I can't come stay with you, but the husband can't stay there. So that means obviously you got some funk with the husband But yet you going with him at 5 in the morning to go take something to the storage, and now he comes up missing. What does that sound like to y'all?
I don't care for him much.
Okay.
While talking to Michael at the storage unit, detectives pick up on something in his tone and the way that he talks about Bryce. It is clear that he didn't like his daughter's boyfriend, and that alone is enough to put investigators on alert. They press him for details, asking Michael to walk them through exactly what happened the day Bryce disappeared.
You drove right up here from the house.
Yes.
Unloaded. Well, how long did that take?
Oh, 45 minutes maybe. Maybe. Because he was looking at stuff and trying to figure out if he was going to keep something or take something. And I think there was one bag in there too, clothing bag or something.
Okay. And then you left here.
We left here.
And where did this interaction happen?
It happened just right out here. We got out, got this down, started to get up to speed, and the lights came on, and it happened right down here.
And you said you're not good with cars because you don't know what they were.
It wasn't, the one was a small, kind of like your size there,
Okay.
or something that size. I tell you the truth, I didn't see what the make was of that one.
But there was lights on them?
No, there was
Emergency lights?
yeah, there was the ones that come up front. I didn't see anything up top, but there was the ones that came on there, and then the car. Look, it was kind of a dark gray, and it kind of looked like the new cars.
Please ask him, what did they say? I want to see what his story is. Please ask him, what did they say anything? What did they say? Because, nigga, what are you for to say they said? Because we know he's selling bullshit right now.
Yes, it is.
Which vehicle did you end up in?
The white one.
The white.
The white Ford Escape.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Bryce ended up in which one?
The dark gray, whatever it was.
He was driving the white.
Yeah,
Escape.
yes.
But which vehicle did you end up
The SUV.
Okay. And Bryce was put in which one?
The gray car. Taurus looking.
And was there a cage in this car?
Not in the one I was in. It looked from the inside. It was plain Jane. It had a small in the center on the center console. It had a small looked like computer or something, but it was folded down.
Michael claims that as they were pulling out of the storage facility, 2 unmarked cars intercepted them and detained both him and Bryce. Well, if his story was true, this wasn't a routine arrest. It was a coordinated operation involving multiple units. They asked Michael if Bryce had said anything during the drive that might explain why law enforcement would be interested in him.
Did he say anything to you when Bryce?
No, he didn't. When we left here, he said thank you for your help, and that was it.
Did you guys have any
Interesting
other conversation?
No, I asked him on the way up here how the drive was. He said nice, decent. It really, I didn't care to talk with him. Most of the time we've ever talked, and I can show you messages where I've never, except for, one time last spring, I didn't see the bruises. My mother-in-law did, my daughter did.
What are you talking about? Bruises? What bruises?
I just said, if I ever see another bruise on her, I said I won't be having words with you.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh wait, where'd this come from? I thought we was talking about the people who took Bryce in the car. Where did this come from? And why are we talking about this? Because they asked to see your phone or something? What? Guilty conscience, 101, y'all. Guilty conscience right here.
And that was the end, but there's been so much conflict from his side, and I can show you messages and I didn't respond any bad way, but just.
Did Cordelia not want to come with, or what was the deal? How come she didn't come with? No?
Said she was smelly and stuff and needed to shower.
Okay. All right.
Michael tells the detectives that they didn't really talk much on the drive. He, and I'm quoting, didn't care enough to ask. But that begs the question, if Michael disliked Bryce that much, well then why offer to take him to the storage unit alone? Cordelia had only been in the shower when they left.
And at 5 in the morning. Who the hell wants to go to the storage? Man, my storage don't even open at 5 in the morning. Who the hell go to storage at 5 in the morning? 2 people that don't like each other. Make that make sense.
They could have easily waited 10 minutes for her to finish and then come along. That being said, he does have a theory of what might have happened.
How did you know she was coming back?
She called me. She called me Sunday and said, "Dad, I'm going to be back in a week or so." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." I said, "What's going on?" She says, "Well, things just fell apart out there." And then that was Sunday during the day, and then Monday she called me and she said, "Dad, we're coming home tonight." And I said, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, we're leaving tonight. This thing's turned really bad and we gotta go."
All right. Did y'all put 2 and 2 together already? What did he say the last thing was that he told him if anything happened to his daughter? There won't be no talking. All of a sudden, he comes back. He's missing. Hey, man.
She knows.
Get a lawyer, man. Get a lawyer, man.
When you said things are blowing up out there.
No, she didn't. She did once they got back here, and after this went down, I went back because I thought she was going to be taken too. I figured when I got back to the house, she was going to be down.
So you're thinking this was something bad that they got into out there.
Out in Washington, or I did hear the two when the guy was taking cuffs out of me. He did say Arizona. He did say Arizona. So when I got home, I said, "What the hell happened?" I said, "What's going on?" I said something. I said, "Bryce has been arrested." I said, and they were saying Arizona. And she's like, "Dad, nothing." Well, then I did get out of her that the cops were called a couple times, but it was because she went to work with bruises on her face.
Oh,
you think Bryce
come on, man.
I'm sure.
Come on, bro. This is bad.
Okay.
And
this is bad.
Cordelia smokes too.
And did you see? Did he have a phone with him?
I didn't actually see it.
This is bad.
I didn't actually see it.
You're just Cordelia's telling you
Yes.
he had 2 phones?
Cordelia had 2 phones. Because then Cordelia's got the one that was another thing. When they left here, he made her leave her cell phone that she always had for years here. So the smartphone, he's like, "We're not going to be tracked."
Listen, man. This nigga should have got a lawyer, bro. Off the rip. Because your story makes absolutely no sense. But what does make sense that you are making super obvious to them and to us is that you do not fuck with that nigga. And that you do not approve of him hitting your daughter, and he keeps beating your daughter. And the more you talk, you learn the more how abusive he is to your daughter. Now the cops then got called because she goes to work with bruises all over her face. And you notice bruises. And guess what? Y'all last interaction that you talked to him in your text message said, "Nigga, next time you hit my daughter, nigga, I ain't talking." And guess what? Now he comes back, and the day he arrives back, he goes missing. And who was the last person he was with? Yo ass. You stupid motherfucker.
So they bought flip phones.
He is insinuating that Bryce and Cordelia might have run into legal trouble while they were out in Arizona, and claimed that Bryce was really into marijuana, implying that that may have played a role in this supposed arrest. Well, with that new piece of information, the detectives realized that they needed to get their hands on Bryce's phone. If there is any truth to this story, that phone is the one place where the answers might actually exist. For now, they pressed Michael for anything else that was related to the events of that day, hoping that even a small detail could help them piece this puzzle together.
I don't want to see you get jammed up.
No.
I mean, was there anything to do with Bryce's phone today and you?
No, nothing, sir. Yeah.
Any idea why that's happening?
I do not know, sir.
And Beth said that she said
That Bryce said on the way back that he had a feeling that somebody was going to get arrested when he got back here. She said the FBI.
FBI.
from what I gather, you're telling me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope your daughter is in on this story you're telling them, man. I hope she knows everything you tell them, because they're going to ask her. And you just put this on your daughter that he said he was going to be arrested when he got back.
Do you have any reason to
Just disappear?
or make it look like he's disappeared?
I don't think so. I don't think, no. I mean, she said they were going to be going back to Montana to work. And that they were, I mean, he was very, what's the word, possessive. and he was all her phones or all her emails and everything went through his phone, so he could watch who she was talking to. I think her Facebook, everything was going through his phone, so he could screen everything. I just said, like I said, Sunday when she had called me.
The investigators then asked Michael for his phone so that they could examine its location data and confirm where he had been on Wednesday evening as the last person to see Bryce.
Well, like I was saying with the phone, again, it's totally up to you if you want to do that. I mean, what we can do is we can go down with the dump it tonight and bring it, I'm assuming you're going to go back down to the party.
Yeah.
We can bring it back to it there tonight. Be done with it that way. Things that we'd be looking for on is just the coincides with what we're talking.
Yeah.
As far as the location data, where you go, what's in there. I'm just
Yeah.
the phone with you that night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it should show. It should.
He's not giving his phone up. Let's see.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
It's a piece of evidence.
Yeah. I got home. We ran to Brainerd. I actually went back to my uncle up in Nisswa. Yeah.
On Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After all this happened, or?
Yes.
However, at
He fucked up again. Oh my God, this nigga's a dummy, bro.
this point, Michael's story is beginning to show cracks.
He's a dummy,
Just
bro.
10 minutes after Michael had denied having Bryce's phone, the investigators asked him about it again.
And you've never had his phone, never.
Oh my
possession of it
God,
today?
bro.
It was in the vehicle. I took it. I
What?
did take it.
What?
And I just wanted my daughter to get away from it.
Dog.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Come on, bro. Oh my God.
Tells detectives that after Bryce was supposedly arrested, he took his phone and he threw it away at a gas station to quote-unquote protect his daughter. That alone is a major red flag. It borders on tampering with evidence, and it immediately makes detectives question just how much of his story has been a lie. Michael's clear dislike for Bryce, combined with him conveniently disposing of his phone, makes detectives realize that this is no longer just a missing person case. Something much darker is going on. After finishing their interview with Michael, investigators turned to his daughter, Cordelia, for her version of events.
This is all I want to know at this point. I know the dad did it. We all know it. We can tell. But is the daughter in on it? That's the one question I got right now. Is the daughter in on it? What do y'all think?
And her account began to expose cracks in Michael's story.
Dad's Mike, right? Talk to Dad about your relationship with Bryce and good things, bad things.
Bad things, tense things, I guess. But
What'd you tell Dad about Bryce and your relationship?
well, so in perfect honesty, Bryce told me everything about his past. He explained to me. So of course, in the relationship, I know, right?
Tell me about his past. What did he tell you?
Well, so he was sexually assaulted when he was a kid, and he had not good parents at all. His dad was a meth head, and his mother was abusive, and his father was abusive as well. She also got an abusive step-husband, everything else. So he spent most of his childhood locked up and been in other things.
You told Dad that?
No, the only thing Dad found out about was just the brief stint as apparently a offender. He tried telling me that, throwing it in my face that, do you really even know him? Do you know everything about him? And he's pissed. And he said he's not. He's never somebody. That is not a truth.
Dad didn't like that he thought Bryce was a offender?
Yep. Well, and it started some heat because my dad actually was an ex-offender.
I know your dad for many years.
But he had that, and of course that got dropped when the duration filled out. But that was something that was brought up as well, that my dad was a offender. And it was actually a shock to me because he likes to say that as kids that there was signs or whatever, and that we knew or something, but I don't actually recall knowing that and knowing for a fact that I knew that was a label on my father. But
How did Dad feel about Bryce being in his mind anyway?
yeah, not the best about it. So
When did you find that out?
that was in June, just before we would have been leaving.
So how was your relationship with Dad?
Fine. I talked to him more than I talked to anyone, and I didn't really talk to anyone while I was gone. Anyone will tell you that. No one really had any communication with me.
Other than Dad?
Yeah, that's about it.
How often do you talk to him?
Once every 2 weeks or something like that.
Once every couple weeks?
Yeah, it was never more than 10 minutes
Are
of
you
a phone call.
Are you his only dad?
I'm his eldest. He's got 2, but I've always been a daddy's girl. Headbuttingly as that is.
Yeah.
And of course, he's dad, so he thinks he can just play protector.
I'm not mad, listen, at Pop's action, right? Somebody hitting my daughter, whooping my daughter ass. I'm going to crash out over my daughter too. Not mad at that, Pops. Not mad at that. But you got to have your story intact and I don't get why people who's like premeditated crimes, like why do you have your phone on you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to ping your phone. You're using your personal car. They got all kind of shit that could track and trace you. So just don't do crime, man. Like if you're not gonna go all the way out to make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted, don't even waste your time. You're gonna get caught, bro. Like what are you? This 2026, man. This motherfuckers they catching niggas in 2 days, bro.
And I'm worked up and irritated and crabby.
So you guys decided to come back to Minnesota. Did you tell anybody?
There was less than 10 people that knew. It's weird because the men that took Bryce said something about that. They said something to my father about how there was an outstanding warrant in Arizona, and they mentioned something about Washington.
She's in on it. She's in on it. She's in on it. They trying to run a play right now. Oh, they running a play right now. I'm here for it, though. Father-daughter trying to get this nigga out the paint who won't leave her alone, who's a control freak, who beat the shit out of her. But listen, y'all both fucked up. Y'all both fucked up.
Which we didn't even know about the warrant. But
How did Dad say that he got Bryce's phone?
if I'm being perfectly honest to you guys, I screamed at my father and just left my aunt's house because I just found out that information.
So he dumped it in a garbage can.
No, he failed to tell to me that he had both of Bryce's phones, as far as I was known. And
Both? No?
Or just the one, and I don't know. I didn't even get to see.
Are we still needing to find
Wow.
Bryce had 2 phones on him. As far as I was aware, he had 2 phones, and the phones were taken with him. I
2 phones?
just found out less than a half hour ago
So
that my father had one of them in possession, or had a phone.
Threw him in a dumpster. So have you talked to him about that?
No, I screamed in his face and told him I'm not sleeping at his house again, and that's where I'm at. He told me, 2 things he told me. First, that the woman in Washington who's pressing charges on Bryce due to property damage, he said that he convinced her not to press charges on me too, apparently. And then he also told me, yes, that he had possession of, I don't know if he said both phones or just one, but he said he had possession of a cell phone and that he was worried someone was tracking it and then that they were going to get a hold of me or something too.
So how did he explain this kidnapping thing that he's explaining?
Well, at first, we thought it was the cops. For all extensive purposes, when he showed up and explained it, he explained it like the police took
When
him.
exactly did he show up and explain it?
I'm going to tell you what. It does not sound like she is, worried that he's gone or nothing. It sounds like they got, me and my dad got our story intact. That's more important right now. We're hearing everything he said. I'm making sure I match everything it got to match what we're saying. They went over this story for sure. They went over the story, but with that, it's always one little minor detail where you could throw the whole story off and slip up. And that's what's going to happen because they both are over talkers. I'm realizing that. The dad's an over talker. She's an over talker. They're going to slip up.
It's after 6:30 maybe.
On
Wednesday.
6:30 p.m.?
Yep. They were gone no more than 2 hours.
Now, despite the obvious red flags, Cordelia still believed that her father was telling the truth, that Bryce had either been arrested or taken by unknown officers. What she didn't know was that detectives had already pulled Bryce's records and they had found no outstanding warrants and no record of him ever being taken into custody. The arrest that Michael described never happened. And as officers relayed this information over to her, Cordelia began to realize that her father was far more involved than she had initially believed.
I thought he was sitting at a police station somewhere.
You know better now that that's not true.
Yeah, up until yesterday, that's what I still thought, and I was still waiting on a phone call just to hear. In all honesty, I don't even know now. It could be the mob or something that picked him up. I don't even know.
So you believe
why would the
that
mob?
Some people kidnapped him?
Yes.
Why would the mob come get your
So
husband?
from our perspective, what do you think common sense kind of tells us?
That something shady is going on. That's how we all feel, is that something shady is going on right now.
Because he wouldn't just leave you.
No, he wouldn't just leave me. And of course, the seed has been planted in my head that I'm questioning about my father as well, because...
Why would the mob just come get your boyfriend? The mob. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Who is he that the mob is going to come kidnap him? You know what I mean?
The last one with him.
Yep. The only thing that came across as suspicious and a red flag in my mind is that Dad made a comment twice about me staying home and him and Bryce going unloading the trailer. That's what I was told. You want to stay here and shower, and Bryce and I will go unload it? And he popped it the first time, and I don't think I really even like said anything definitive or commented, but we got talking on it or something else, and then Bryce came in.
Remember when I told y'all somebody's going to slip up? Her, the dad, their stories. It's one slip up. Well, she just did it. She just did it. The dad said, hey, she was in the shower. She didn't want to go. So we went. She just said, the dad told me, you can't go. Take a shower. You can't go. No. I'm going to go with him. Take a shower. That little key detail right there just fucked up everything.
And then he asked again, and that's what him and I agreed upon. I was like, okay, that's fine. You two can go unload the trailer, and I'll stay here and I'll shower.
At this point, officers were convinced that Michael was involved in Bryce's disappearance. They reviewed surveillance footage from a gas station in Brainerd, and they located Bryce's phone in a trash can, exactly where Michael claimed that he had thrown it.
Who's that by the truck right now? Is that Mike that's
he's
the back of the truck?
Looks like he's putting ice in the back.
But what detectives discovered next is what truly sealed Michael's fate. After analyzing the location data from Michael's phone, they learned that the morning after Bryce vanished, Michael left home at 4:45 a.m., drove back to the storage unit, stayed there for nearly half an hour, and then went to a remote patch of public land near Lake Edward for about an hour.
What?
It had become very clear that the storage unit was the scene of a crime. So the officers obtained a search warrant for the storage unit, and they went there one day after their interview with Michael.
But the dad might got like the storage unit that's like, he might have that unit plus a unit that's like 5 units down where he actually committed the crime. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Unless he's just slow as a motherfucker, which I think he is.
What they found inside confirmed their worst suspicions. On the concrete floor sat a bottle of bleach. Testing would later reveal that it contained DNA from both Michael and Bryce.
Oh.
Nearby, investigators spotted dried blood and drag marks etched into the concrete.
Oh.
The kind that's left behind when something heavy gets pulled across the ground, maybe on a tarp or sled. And on October 30th, they followed Michael's cell phone location data to a remote patch of land near Lake Edward. It was deep in the woods, far from any trail. Not the kind of place that someone would just wander into. And that's where detectives noticed a section of ground that looked freshly filled in and covered with leaves and branches, as if someone had tried to hide it.
So it's a sandy, previously dug area that they broke off branches and stuck them in the ground.
Fresh leaves on top.
And then fresh leaves on top. But it's,
This is probably animals.
We kind of dug down with their boots about 6-8 inches and don't see anything, but this is probably, it's really odd. Well, I think if we get a probe of some sort to start with, and
they're live now, so they can see.
Would be great.
They brought in an excavation team, and moments later, the truth surfaced. Buried in the mud was a body.
Damn.
It was Bryce Brogle, shot once in the back of the head. Someone had murdered him and had tried to hide the body.
Oh, we know who it was.
And all evidence pointed straight to Michael.
We
But
know who it
detectives weren't
was.
the only ones closing in on him. 2 days earlier, Michael's half-siblings had already come forward to report that Michael had confessed to killing Bryce.
What? Oh, shit. Okay. So look, here's what I'm going to say. The daughter, I'm like, the daughter knew, but one thing I just thought about, the daughter went to 2 days later, she went there why would she even go there? To the police station 2 days later. Because even if she was like trying to make it look like she had nothing to do with it, I don't think, no, that's too soon. I don't know, man. This is confusing. But we know the dad did it. Is the daughter in on it? Is all I want to know. The dad did it for sure. We know that.
Day that Michael got home from his police interview on October 20th, he told his sister that he needed to borrow her truck because he was worried that investigators were, quote-unquote, watching his truck. When she asked why, he told her that he needed to bury Bryce's body. He confessed that he'd shot Bryce in the back of the head, claimed that the police would, quote-unquote, never find the body, and explained that he used a sled to move it since it was too heavy to carry.
Oh, there you go.
He also mentioned taking a bag of leaves from her garage in order to cover the grave that he had already prepared.
Oh, my God.
The same sled was found near the scene covered with a blanket, covered in dried blood.
Oh, my
His sister immediately called their half-brother, Patrick, who contacted police. Investigators also learned that the entire family knew that Michael believed that Bryce was abusing Cordelia. But none of it was actually true. Cordelia herself confirmed that while they had normal arguments like any couple, Bryce was never violent and they were genuinely happy together.
How's yours and Bryce's relationship been?
Good.
Okay, any abuse or anything like that?
No, not really, no.
Not really?
Talked to Dad's Mike, right? Talked to Dad about relationship with Bryce and good things, bad things.
Bad things, tense things, I guess, but...
What'd you tell Dad about Bryce and your relationship?
Well, so in perfect honesty, Bryce told me everything about his past. He explained to me, so of course in the relationship I know, right?
Michael was arrested for the murder of Bryce Brogle and initially charged with second-degree murder, but was later upgraded to first-degree premeditated murder. His trial took place in 2024 and the jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Wow, man, wow. Damn. So Dad was a Lone Ranger, man. He was just out here doing his thing. He didn't like the boyfriend, clearly didn't think much of him. You know what I mean? In his head, he's an abuser, he control freak, all this, da-da-da-da-da-da. And the next time I see him, they probably had words. And you know, next time I see him, I'm ready for him. I don't like this. And then he probably, while they was in the storage, he probably told him, hey, can you come help me move something at the storage or something? You feel me? Get in there while he got his back turned, walk up on some sucker shit and shot him in the back of the head. Boom! You feel me? Moving too fast, got his phone in his pocket, pinging everywhere, pinging everything. The typical stupid dumb shit, go get bleach. Thank you, clean it up with bleach. I don't know why in every movie, all these videos on YouTube, that bleach don't mean shit, man. God damn, that bleach don't mean nothing. So, you know, it's going to clean up, but they can still see the blood. If they think it's you, they're going to find it. They're going to see it there, right there, bro. Like, I don't know, man. These motherfuckers are dumb, y'all. People are just dumb, man. Was it necessary? Was it necessary? Now you got life in prison, man. Let me know what y'all think about the situation. How would y'all feel if you was the daughter? How would you feel if you was the brother? The brother said, fuck that. I'm telling what I know. I ain't getting in trouble. He came over here. He admitted to killing me. He used my truck. Would you have told on your brother? And would you be mad at your dad if he moved on impulse and killed your boyfriend, ladies? Would you be mad? He got life in jail. So, sad story, man. Sad story. Let me know what y'all think. I'm going to give y'all 2 seconds to smash a like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.